Hey there, everybody. Welcome back with the Purplatypus is the name, and I wanted to show you some of my favorite, I guess you can call it mid-game, class combinations. Now, this is worth noting, this isn't reversible, in a sense this is character specific, so when I'm giving you my favorite class combination for, like, one of them is a dancer merchant. It's not Particio, it's a dancer. It has to be Agnia as a merchant, so it has to be these specific characters with these secondary jobs, basically. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go into combat, and I'm gonna just kind of. Maybe I should explain it first, and I'll show you in combat exactly what's up. So these are the four that I picked: Hikari, Agnia, Throne, and Particio. Now, the first one's a little uninteresting, but it's still worth it. Is Hikari the warrior? I have him become a hunter because I like cat boys. I'm kidding. But also, this is really just kind of a simple one. Is Hikari is just very, very strong as a physical attacker. He already has access to being able to break things pretty easily. He's really good at breaking, basically all physical elements normally. Or I mean, sorry, he's good at breaking sword and spear, and he's good at breaking normal shields when they attack with it. And he just does insane damage. But none of the he doesn't really need any support abilities. That's not what he does. What he does is he hits things really hard. So I just had him equip a hunter. This doesn't have any super deep synergy with it, other than the fact that it just lets you equip more weapons, right? Now you have sword, spear, axe, and bow, and then you have if an enemy has sword weakness or bow weakness, you're very, very good at killing them both. You do have like a few even like really good support abilities. You don't use them that much, but you have access. Like hold trap makes enemies slow. There, it makes them act at the end of the turn for 2 turns, which is even better than slow. Nullifying foes augments, and then really you're using precise shot, cleaving blow, and then I'm sure the divine ability when you get there. But this is a little bit simple. This isn't like the most exciting one, but I figured I might as well put 4 on there. So this is the 4th most interesting one. Now we're gonna go to my top 3. We're gonna go in kind of order here from the bottom to the top. I should have said that sooner, but here we go. Now, my 3rd favorite so far is gonna be Throne. Throne as a cleric, which might seem kind of weird, but I think this works really well. The thing about her that works well as a cleric, as opposed to Temenos, is Throne has the ability sometimes to take 2 turns in 1 turn. So like she has good physical stuff and good support abilities here. I actually think Thief is kind of a low tier class, or like mid. I don't know. It's just like not great. A lot of times I'm like, well, I don't really want to use any of these abilities. They're not particularly good at breaking. They're not particularly good at like the right kind of support all the time. It's all single target. Surprise attack is good, and this reckoning ability is good. But Throne here has a very powerful latent ability to take 2 actions. So now when you are playing as playing her as a cleric, you have the ability to revive all your allies. Then you're able to heal their wounds, or you're able to heal wounds and attack, or you're able to heal wounds and then heal wounds again if you need to, or you're able to do a buff. Now this gets a lot better if you have something like an augment magic on, obviously, because then heal and revive will revive and then heal everybody. Heal wounds will heal everybody more. And then you can also like do all kinds of stuff. I just love her ability as a healer to take 2 turns in a row, because a lot of times when a healer, what really sucks is you have to spend your whole turn healing, and now she could spend half her turn healing essentially. So you could revive and heal in the same turn. Very, very powerful, especially if you get like a team wipe and she gets back up with Rise Again. Then suddenly if she gets a turn, she could still revive the whole squad, and then she could heal them all up. And also, even if she just revives everyone and then uses the healing item, right, there's nothing stopping her from doing anything you want. You could use the BP however you want. Very powerful combination. And even then, like, obviously the Thief is still good. It does its job well. Sometimes you do just want to not shackle foes. Sometimes you do want to, I use armor corrosive a lot because I'm using Hikari, so I find this to be pretty good. You could double up on this, do it on 2 different foes. It's kind of like a weak use of the latent power, but I start with latent power every combat because I have the merchant class thing, so I'm a little more loosey-goosey with using it than maybe people would be otherwise. But But yeah, it's just very good. She basically just becomes a really good healer, but also she still has all these great physical attributes here. And the reason why Temenos can't do this is he never gets 2 actions in a turn. Yeah, you could do some different things with different abilities, but just having that on a ability that lets you use it immediately, I think is very powerful. And also it just worked out really well. Now, my 2 favorites are both involving the merchant class. And these aren't necessarily insanely powerful, but fuck do they feel good when you're going through the game. You might wonder why I have so much JP. 20,000 on Hikari, 8,000 on Agnia, 9,000 on Throne, 669 on Particio. That's because I just used 5,000 of his to get this bounty ability. But Particio is quickly going up my tier list for non-boss fights, at least, and even probably in boss fights I think he might be insanely overpowered and broken, but I haven't tested him enough yet to really know. But Particio as a thief, so I already know I talk kind of bad about the thief class, but Particio has the latent ability to get full BP, and what having full BP means is that no matter what, he can always use the he's the only character without any further assistance that can use the divine abilities on turn 1 of combat. Now, this is a pure farming combination that I really like for just, if you're going for experience and money, this is going to be really, really good. You could use the Thief's Reckoning ability here. You unleash a powerful dagger attack on all foes. The greater your speed, the more potent the attack, right? So it is a dagger attack. So if you're using, if you want to make sure you have a good dagger, but I mean, like, honestly, I'm going to do a whole video about why Particio might be the best character in the entire game. But yeah, you could do like even this kind of stuff. You could do all this stuff on turn 1. So I think for boss fights, he's going to be clutch. But for farming, I really like him being combined with the thief. Merchant's a very good class in general. They have the fucking best support skills, fucking insanely good support skills. But that being combined with just being able to do this on turn 1 is so nice for just farming. If you're just trying to get through an area, just kill shit, get experience. Because sometimes you're not looking for JP. Like, I'm not really looking for JP right now. I'll farm it later. But that's going to lead me to my final one. So yeah, basically, this is just, I just like this because it's really, really good at killing all this shit, because this divine skill is insane. You could always do it on turn 1. It scales with your speed, which you already want if you're trying to go fast and go first. But also, he could use the bounty on turn 1 every single time. If you're specifically trying to farm money, you could use this to nuke things down one at a time to get money. You know, you do it once and then the team would clean up the rest. Or you could use this just to kill everybody, end the fight before anything happens. But I'm just surprised at how much synergy it feels here. Especially, like, the Thief starts looking really good when there's no ads around. When there's no ads and you could suddenly just start nuking guys down, or you could break foes. Like, if you could use hired help to help you break foes, then you go in with things like surprise attack to really fuck them up. It's actually quite powerful. But my favorite here is the Dancer Merchant combo. Agnia as a merchant. And I've got one word for you. Arrow of Fortune. This is how I get all my JP. Not all of it, but like I get a lot. I can get 250 in a fight. I just had a video come out showcasing this exact build. Basically, she starts, we have the full power. The support skill full power is on the merchant class, completely fills the character's latent power gauge at the start of battle. Insane ability. Maybe not as much for all boss fights, because you don't always care about this right away, but it's because you can go in, you could farm your latent abilities up when you go into a boss fight. But when you're farming, this shit is fire. You'd probably just change this out for like a hang tough. I don't know, something better for a boss fight. But it's just so good. It's so fucking good. Now, it lets me go into every combat. Her latent ability is the ability to have a single target thing, target everybody. And so what do? Arrow of Fortune. You just do an AoE Arrow of Fortune, kill fucking everything. So let's kind of give you an example. Where are we at here? Let's go somewhere. Is this level 18 zone? This is a little bit low for me right now, but it will give me at least, it'll let me show you. It'll make me look better. All right. It'll make me look better. So very first thing here, the thing that I really like about Throne is we could use her latent power, and she has so much flexibility, and I like having flexibility on my healer. But because we're not doing anything fancy here, let's go ahead and just do some armor corrosive. I'm going to speed up combat though, because that animation does take a little bit. Armor corrosive. All right, and now Particio can do this every single turn, every single first turn of combat. With his latent power, you fully boost. You go to your thief skills, and you just use your reckoning here. And he has an okay dagger, nothing great, but then he just nukes everybody for 7,000 damage. And then that's it. Then the fight's over. Look, you just got 150 JP, a bunch of experience. And that's just like, that was me taking it slow and kind of showing what's going on. But let's go ahead and get into a different fight, and we'll show Agnia here. Now, Agnia only starts with 2 BP because I have the BP boost on my character, but I don't know. I've never seen this fucking thing. A silky cocoon. I bet they're going to hatch. You know what? Because I'm curious, let's do a deep analysis here. Okay, they're not weak to what I care about. So what we're gonna do here is I'm going to do a this shouldn't do much damage, if any, hopefully. Okay, good, very light. So we're gonna break them, but this is why I really like Agnia here. So check this out. We gotta just defend. We want her to have full BP, cleric skills, never mind, thief skills. Let's go ahead and just do armor corrosive. Armor corrosive.
Ready.
Let's go ahead and speed up the combat. I'm used to ×2 speed right now. And now her turn comes around because she guarded. Latent power. Arrow of Fortune. Slow it down because it looks cool. Hit him for a casual 8,000. Now you get 49 JP. That's because they didn't have that much HP. If you go into the higher level zones are, the more JP you get, because you can't get JP over their actual. You can't get JP over their actual HP. So I didn't actually deal 9,000. I did like their 3,000 or whatever, or less HP. But yeah, just like this. This is like, these are my favorite combinations, as you can tell. Probably mostly just for AOE farming. These aren't necessarily boss killers, but you'd be surprised. This is the team I take into boss fights too, and they do incredibly well. But when I'm in boss fights, then yeah, the merchant class becomes more of a, sorry, I got a hiccups here. Agnia becomes more of a support here, right? She ends up using these her dancer class jobs a bit more, and then, you know, donate BP, rest, collect. Not as much using Arrow of Fortune to deal damage. And Particio kind of just, honestly, it's a negotiate schedule. I don't want to get too far into it. That could be spoiler territory, but we will get into that in a different video. But anyway, just want to do a quick short little video about my favorite class combinations for the mid game. I wouldn't call it early game anymore. I'd call it mid game at this point. And yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Much love. Purplatypus is Purplatypus. I'll see you next time. Peace.